Hi, everybody. Coming up on 10:04 right now. If you can, give me a thumbs up. Let me know this is coming through loud and clear. Broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Thank you all for visiting right now. Let's get to the forecast. If you will, give me a thumbs up. Let me know this is coming through loud and clear. Also, if you can, let me know where you're watching from. I see Damon's watching right now. Hi, everybody. Doing great. Jeannie's watching from Belton. Hi, Damon. You're very welcome. Thank you for tuning in right now. We've got a big week ahead. Lots and lots to track, including the tropics and a very close call on what will be Hurricane Franklin. Hi from Boiling Springs. Hey, Matt. Hope you're doing well. We got Kathy in the house watching right now. Who else is watching? Where you guys at tonight? Got Columbia in the house. Pumpkin Town's in the house with Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Hey, from Pickens. We got Rhonda watching right now. Hope you guys are doing great. Yeah, we got a lot going on tonight. A lot going on in the house, including the tropics, which are really heating up. Inari's in the house. Pelzer, Mooresboro. All right. Hey, Adam. Chesney, Boiling Springs area. Good deal. Good deal. Sydney's watching from Liberty. Westminster's in the house. Easley. See Becky from Seneca. Okay. Chesney. We got Kings Mountain. Anthony, thank you for watching right now. Who else is there? We got Liberty. Keith's watching. Greenville, Midtown. All right. Thanks for watching there on YouTube. Pamela's watching from Easley. Diane's watching from Berea. Matt from Malden. Kristen from Lawrence. Thank you guys for tuning in right now. Hot, hot, hot. That's the theme this week. We can't buy a drop of rain. My dad called me just a few minutes ago and he said, please tell me it's going to rain at some point. I do have the chance for rain. Jessica, hi. Thank you for watching on YouTube right now. Anybody else watching on YouTube? YouTube's the new thing, folks. I tell you what. I love Facebook. YouTube is just a whole other ball game, whole other way to reach a different crowd. In fact, some folks, younger crowd, college kids that may be away. So YouTube is another area that we're at. Of course, TV is where you'll find me most of the time, but Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I want to be wherever you are. That way, I'm keeping you up to date. Okay. Jessica, thank you for watching. Brenda, John's watching from Mountain Rest. All right, well, let's get the conversation going because we do have a lot to talk about tonight. Dana's watching from Greer. In fact, the tropics, there are a couple of things that concern me, a couple of things that do not concern me as much. Let's get right to it. Let's start with the heat because it's what we're all feeling. Lower 80s. In fact, Columbia right now at 89 degrees. That's not a typo. It feels warmer than that when you factor in the humidity. Right now it's 83 in Greenville, but it feels like, well, we're 1 degree warmer than yesterday, 4 degrees warmer in the mountains. So it is warming up, but it feels like 88. So we're adding about 5 or 6 degrees to what it actually feels like outside to your thermometer. That's because there's humidity in the air. Downtown Greenville sitting at 83 right now. We do have a northerly wind. That's why it's a little bit hazy today. There was a hint of wildfire smoke in the air today. It still feels like 88. The dew point is up. Anything above 60 would be humid conditions. 70 is just very muggy. Low to mid 70s is just tropical air. I mean, it's almost like you're sitting in New Orleans if it gets to 74, 75. Spartanburg, you're checking in at 77 degrees right now. It's just a hot evening. Tomorrow morning when you get up and start your day, heading out to school, heading out to work, hope you have a great Tuesday. It's really a nice week. I mean, we got sunshine. Hard to beat this, but it is going to be hot, and tomorrow's extra hot. The muggy meter's on the rise. Tomorrow's humid, but it's steamy on Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, the humidity comes back a bit, but it's going to be hotter. Let's map out tomorrow hour by hour. I've got 91 degrees by noon, so you know if it's heating up that fast, that hard, it's going to be hot. So again, keep me posted where you're watching from. I'll try to tailor this forecast. USA Anderson's in the house. Let's get to that in just a minute. The mountains, Asheville. There's Hendersonville in the house. I see Kings Mountain. So there's some North Carolina folks in here. You're going to get to 90 tomorrow too. I think you'll get to 92 in Asheville. Look a little bit closer into Buncombe County. We got 84 for Weaverville. Lester 85. Who's watching right now in Anderson County? I know my Anderson County peeps are here. Where you at? Where you at? Spindle's in the house. Okay. Hi, Tracy. We'll get to Spindle in a second. 97 tomorrow in Piedmont. Anybody watching from Piedmont right now? Got 96 in Williamston, 95 in Belton, 95 in Honeypath. Downtown Greenville, 96 degrees. Surrounding areas, the Golden Strip from Malden to Simpsonville to Fountain Inn, mid to upper 90s. Even Tigerville, North Greenville University. Glassy Mountain, 92. Ouch. Make it stop. We got 95 in Spartanburg, 95 in Cowpens, 93 tomorrow in Chesney, 96 in Greer. Rutherfordton, 93 degrees. Clemson, 96. 97 in Abbeville. Let's check in Hendersonville. Plenty of apples going on right now. My dad said it's just so hot. Just so hot right now. Going to get a cool front that comes through this weekend, though, make it feel a lot better. 87 in Eddyville tomorrow, 87 in Flat Rock. All right, so let's see the temperature trend. Moving forward here, I've got a really hot day on Tuesday and a really hot day on Friday. Those are the 2 days I'm highlighting for the hottest days of the week. Some areas go flirt with 100 degrees. These are the temperature, not the humidity. Feels like temperature. It's just really, really, really too hot for us, okay? And what's coming our way is the heat dome. That's what's locking things in right now. Let me show you that, because the high pressure, it migrates time to time. That's why our heat index, or our temperature, is going to go down a little bit, then back up. It's all where this heat dome is located. And a couple of cold fronts trying to come around. One tries to come our way on Saturday, and that's really actually a good thing. We need that guy to come in, okay, because it needs to steer Franklin away. And it looks like it's going to do that, but it's going to be close. Franklin does get a little closer than I like. Okay, there's Franklin, likely a hurricane. Here's a cold front draped right there, okay? We need its protection, and it looks like we're going to get it. But again, if this cold front is delayed, if this cold front is weaker than what's shown here, we need to watch out. It could be a different kind of day. So early sneak peek at the weekend. Hey, it's never too early to start thinking about that, right? Looks like 96 on Saturday, 87 on Sunday. Both days look to have a thunderstorm chance. If you're going the other way toward the coast, maybe a little bit more infused with some moisture. So I do think we'll have some more thunderstorms on Sunday. And again, Sunday does look to be a little bit cooler than Saturday. Meteorological summer. That's June, July, and August for us in the weather world. We're almost done with summer weather-wise. About 9 days left. 91 was the peak of our normal high temperatures. By now, we're starting to come down a little bit. It's a little bit. But where we start to see the most progress is in September and in October, when the weather really begins to change. Today, we reached 90 degrees, well above that average high of 84. 65 would be a normal, or 64 would be a normal low. Well away with that record of 100 degrees set back in 1983. But we're going to challenge that tomorrow. Going to be very, very close to it. So how about meteorological fall? Okay, this is what I'm talking about. I'm ready for this. I know some of you are too. Meteorological fall starts September 1st. It goes through November 30th. It represents the time that the temperatures cool the most. You see, in Weather World, we go by numbers. We go by data, not by the sun. That's another way to do it. Certainly nothing wrong with that. But when you're talking about the sun angle and those different things, they are related to temperature. And in this case, the sun angle is getting lower. Therefore, our temperatures begin to get lower. So the average high temperature on September 1st is about 86 degrees. The average high temperature on September 15th is 83. You notice a trend here. We see dramatic changes in September, especially from the beginning of September, where it still feels like summer, to October 1st, when it feels like fall. The average high October 1st is 77. By the 15th of October, we've made tremendous progress from our 86 degrees. Now it's normally about 73. And then November comes, the 60s. Yeah. We're not far from that, folks. I tell you what, this year is strangely flying by. There were times this summer where, as a dad, I was thinking to myself, what is happening? Time is frozen. It's you think it's 4 p.m. and it's 10 a.m. There were those days. Trust me. There were those days in the Justice Home. But as a whole, it has dramatically flown by. I feel like it should be May 30th or something like that. Maybe June 15th. But here we are. It's somehow almost September. All right. We need rain. It's been almost a week of full dry conditions, and we're sitting okay drought-wise. We got a little dry condition here in the northern part of Oconee County. You could use some rain. Wildfire is a big concern, as there is a bigger drought back through West Virginia and Virginia, through Dallas, parts of Texas, and you've got some relief coming in the form of some tropical moisture. All right, so watching that. No snowpack in the Appalachian Mountains. You really only have to go all the way back up here to western Canada into Alaska to find some snowpack. There it is. Yeah, that's going to start to change. Got some changes coming our way. In fact, for the first time in a long time, the outlook for temperatures is showing slightly below average temperatures expected for the first week of September. I'll take it. It's usually very, very hot. And that comes with dry conditions. So that excites me because normally when you're cooler than average this time of the year, it's because it's going to rain. Well, right now it looks like it's going to be dry and cool. You can see it on our 10-day outlook. These numbers represent whether temperatures are above normal or below normal on any given day. So you see this week we're just bonkers. I mean, it's just dangerous hot, honestly. Tomorrow's 9 degrees above normal. We're about a degree or so above it on Wednesday and Thursday. By the time we get to Friday, we're 12 degrees above normal. But next week, looks like a cold front comes through. A couple of them, in fact, may in fact leave us with better weather. Active alerts right now, you've got plenty of heat advisories and alerts back here through the middle part of the country. Don't see those being extended our way tomorrow just because we are going to be seeing a little bit lower humidity. Big ring of fire right here. That's where the jet stream's oriented right now. And like I mentioned before, that leaves the door open. The back door is wide open. There is nothing guarding the door right in here. Thankfully, the steering current's not steering anything tropical our way because there would be nothing to stop it. Absolutely zero, zilch, nothing. The jet stream is way up there, okay? So what we are getting is the jet stream's way up here. Like that. Big dome of high pressure sits right here. So very slow, steady motion in the tropics like this. That's why this tropical depression is moving west. And it's still 99 degrees right now in Dallas, where they're going to get some tropical moisture. I forgot to hit the button. I'm sorry, folks. I've been drawing. How long have I been drawing for? Dang. I messed you up there. Sorry about that. All right. I did 2 or 3 graphics. At least 3. Man. All right. I'll go back to this one. Here's the 10-day outlook. Sorry about that, folks. Man. I hit the button and then I forgot to hit it back. All right. Here we go. 10-day outlook. Hot, hot, hot all the way through Saturday, Sunday, and then you get to Monday. Man, sorry about that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all below average temperatures. Here are the alerts I was showing you with the big dome of high pressure, and here's the setup. All right, we're caught up. You only missed 3 maps. Sorry about that, guys. There it is right there, the big jet stream, high pressure centered right over it, and here's tropical depression number 9. Likely to become a tropical storm tonight, 99 degrees right now in Dallas. They need some help. They're going to get it. Here's that big dome. Here's another way of looking at high pressure upper parts of the atmosphere. Here's 500 millibars way above our heads. There's that high pressure. Boom. Here's the current setup. Anything and everything will go like this around it. That's why everything's steering right here. So there is our tropical system right in there. It has nowhere else to go but west. Kind of cool, huh? We can also scoot over here where we can see we have another tropical storm right there. Another wave right there. And way out here, you got a little something, something trying to form right there. That's kind of the big picture in a nutshell and where things sit right here. So where do we stand temperature-wise compared to the rest of the world? Wowzer. I mean, we are hot, hot, hot all across the United States. 102 in Dallas today. It just continues to be really stifling hot because of that big high pressure. You go up here toward Canada. I mean, it's typically warm this time of the year there. You got 70s. You go up here to the high peaks. You got some areas that still have some snowpack, but even in Alaska, you got 60s. And then up here toward the north, you've got 50s. Keeping on going west, you got some 30s showing up here along the Arctic Circle. Certainly very, very cold. Let's see. Got 30s there. It won't be long before we start seeing some just outrageous numbers there. Just crazy. So you'll find some warmth. You'll find some cold and some warmth everywhere. Baghdad, a whopping 95 right now. It was 103 just a few hours ago. Cairo's at 77. Mali. Madrid, Lisbon. Paris is at 65. It's 59 in London. Looks like you got some rain moving around. Denmark's got some rain moving through. Sweden, up toward Norway, Finland. Iceland. What's going on in Iceland? go right there. All right. So let's take a look at the tropics. I know many of you are watching specifically for a tropical update here. We've got a lot to watch. Simply put, National Hurricane Center added one more just for good measure, right? Why not? Why not right now? We've got a low chance of this developing once it gets in here, but it's also moving into a very cool part of the Atlantic, so not too much to write home about there. All right, so that's what's new right now with that. You've got Franklin right here. You've got TD9 right here. Got Emily and Gert, all both weakening. And you've got this little invest trying to become something. So I'm not worried about this one. I'm not worried about this one anymore. That leaves 3 that we're looking at. Right here, and right here. All right. Sea surface temperature is just out of control right now. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave it stuck on this one. I just got to reposition a map here. I haven't done that in a really long time, so sorry for that. All right, let's get back to the tropics because I do have new information to show you as we're watching it. All right, so looking ahead, let's take a look at the tropics specifically. Franklin needs to be watched. That's honestly the one I'm keyed in on. Of course, we're watching Tropical Depression number 9, but it looks to be more of a benefit than a hindrance to Texas. I say that cautiously because I've been doing this a very long time, and I know that systems can cause damage, can cause loss of life at any strength. So I never want to hope for anything like that. But when you're in a big drought and crops are relying on it, a good soaking rain is a good thing. And this is a more tame tropical system, okay? So I give you that. But I'm not too concerned that it's going to blow up anything big, okay? It's going to be moving on its way. The Caribbean looks to have some flooding because of Franklin imminently. And then Franklin nears the southeast coast early next week. Hopefully it's a couple hundred miles out to sea, but it's near us. There are also other latent threats coming. We got at least 3 waves that will need to be watched in the coming future. So there you have it. There's the latest outlook right now as it stands. Let's start with the one closest to home because TD9 is moving west now at 18 miles per hour. It's a ragged little thing. I mean, it's just not great. It's in very warm water, so it does have a chance to at least intensify to a tropical storm, and that's exactly what the National Hurricane Center thinks will happen. 45-mile-per-hour winds as it moves towards South Texas. And again, this area needs the rain. You don't want to hope for anything bad because you know things can go sideways out of anything, but watching it. We're watching it. All right, what about Tropical Storm Franklin? This has my attention probably the most. I'm always watching them all, but Franklin's a wily little thing. One, it's stationary. I don't like that. You got some big flooding going on right now for Curacao, surrounding areas. I mean, they are getting days of rain in these areas, and it's stationary. It's just sitting there. So is Puerto Rico. So is the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and to some degree the Windward and Leeward Islands. Okay, need to watch this. It's intensifying. It's got winds at 50 miles per hour. Okay, that's okay. We can handle that. But what you can't handle is days and days of that just sitting there. And unfortunately, we go through tomorrow, and then we go through Wednesday, and it's still over the Dominican Republic and Haiti. You're talking some serious flooding in those areas. So if you have family or friends in those areas, please share this with them. Then it turns into a Category 1 hurricane, which if you split the difference here, there's Bermuda. The National Hurricane Center works off its statistics, okay? And this cone of uncertainty basically is saying there's a 50-50 chance it does something like that. There's a 50-50 chance it does something like that. So it's split in Bermuda, and very likely it's going to do something like this, okay? Somehow thread the needle between the Outer Banks and Bermuda. That's what I think is going to happen given my current data. And that data coming in, and it's inching a little more west, okay? It's still not sound the alarm bells west, but it's certainly more west than it was. And that's why I think we need to watch this closely because, one, the water temperatures are very warm off the southeast coast. The Gulf Stream's right there. You've got an intensifying tropical system that's at the very least a hurricane, possibly even a strong hurricane, moving north. We got to watch it. We're vulnerable. And this is kind of in that pattern that we kind of expected this time of the year to kind of show up here and bring us a southeast type system. And here we are, the Dominican Republic up through San Juan, finally getting out of the rain late this week. But you've got 3, 4, 5 days of just pouring rain. All right, so landslides, flooding, a big concern for the islands. And here it sits just east of the Bahamas on Saturday, likely as a hurricane. This is when old Franklin's got a decision to make, okay? The steering currents want to steer it this way. Look at that. You see it? You can make it out. The wind streams, the currents, want to kind of steer it that way with the Bermuda High. So what's going to stop that from coming that way? Well, we need something. We need something to help us, and in this case, it's got to be a strong front. There's nothing else that can really do that. And here we are going into Sunday. This thing is probably a strong hurricane according to this European model. And again, I'm showing you one run of one model. I look at about 51 different versions of this throughout the day, and I can tell you they're all similar, okay? There are some outliers that have this making landfall. There's some that have it going way out to sea and not even being a threat. But this middle solution is what a lot of the models are showing. So Sunday at 10 p.m., you got a strong hurricane, several hundred miles off the coast, and then it gets a little closer to home than I like. Here we are Tuesday morning. It's likely a very strong hurricane just off the Carolina coast, right in this area. And then it gets picked up by this cold front, which we think, as of right now, the data is showing it, sitting somewhere right here. That brings in our cooler temperatures. Remember I showed you a few maps ago, the cooler temperatures over our area next week? Well, that's what's bringing in this front, which is good on two fronts. It's, get that? Good on two fronts. Oh, the dad jokes are real tonight. But it's good on two fronts. It's cooling us down, and it's also going to steer Franklin a little bit more out to sea. So hopefully this monster stays away from the United States and doesn't come our way. So the Dominican Republic, like I mentioned, well, concerned about some big rain, big flooding rains in here. 4+ inches. That could lead to some problems there. Turks and Caicos, the Bahamas, certainly could get some big rain there too. And this thing moseys up toward the north to where you've got the front here. That's rain from the front, but it's also infused with Franklin. Franklin's basically juicing things up here along this front. Could get some big rains in the eastern part of the Carolinas going to early next week. All right. That's not the only one we're watching. We've got Tropical Wave Invest 92L. It's moving west at 30 miles per hour. Moving west-northwest, actually, at this point. It's kind of barren right now, but is expected to become a tropical system very soon, probably by tomorrow. And early indications are, based on the way it's traveling, it would continue on something like that. All right? We'll show you that in the models in just a minute. But you can't discount these. If this stays toward the bottom of the envelope, it could do something like that. You know, these guys can do just about anything this far out. Got to watch it. All right, so here's the radar version of what Franklin could look like. It's a compact little system, gets a lot more compact, possibly becoming a hurricane by Sunday, Monday. Here comes our front, hopefully with enough steam and with it being on time. My wife's probably watching, so I'll be nice. I say if my wife were driving, if my wife were the cold front, it'd be late. No, that's not nice. Here comes the front. Hopefully it's on time. Because it's got to steer this guy out. And it's got to bring us our cool air. And it looks like it's going to do that. It looks like it's going to at this point. But we got to watch it. It's a formidable storm. Let me show you the water vapor imagery, because this time last week we were socked. I mean, just socked with dry air. It's gone. It is gone. That's why you're seeing so much tropical activity right now. A couple of those waves last week acted as renegades, and they went out and cleared out that dry air like it was nothing. 'Tis the season. So again, Franklin's the guy to watch, and it's in an area, or very near an area. This is like medium grade gas. This is high octane gas right here. You need to stay away from this area. Storm gets in there, rapid intensification, as long as there's not wind shear above you. This area is certainly fueling it. That's why it's getting stronger. All right. Now what happens if it moves up this way? All right. If it stays in this area, it'll get in here. That's cooler water. it would not have as much juice to work with. But if it travels a little closer to the coast, that's like keeping its foot in a warm bath. So let's look. Let's look at the models. All right, a couple of things to rewind it for. Here you go. Right there is TD9, and it's gone in about 24 hours. So that's why I say quick dose of some rain in Texas, and that's it. That's all there is with that system. Here's Franklin getting a life of its own. This is the European model, by the way. A life of its own north of Puerto Rico. Here comes another wave right behind it. That's probably 92L. Yeah, I think it is. And it's going to kind of follow this. Now, if it tries to follow that exactly, Franklin's going to be churning up the ocean. It's called upwelling. Brings up colder water from the bottom of the ocean. It kind of leaves storms in its path to feed off cold water, which is not what tropical systems want. This is a strong hurricane, according to the European, off the Carolina coast. Off is the key word. It's not on it. And right now, it'd be a close call, but we'd be all right with this kind of solution. But that cold front's got to arrive on time. That dip in the jet stream. You can see it. You can see it right here. Notice how the winds are coming out of the Midwest. There's our front. Big dip in the jet stream right here, kicking this guy out to sea. All right. Looks like it moves out right there. All right. So this gets us next Thursday. What else is cooking? Not much in the Gulf. Maybe a little wave down there. But then there's this guy, which kind of go that way. So we got to watch it. See what the new GFS. We just got a new model of the GFS in. Again, it's got TD9 making landfall tonight. It's got Franklin moving over the Dominican Republic a little earlier than the European. A lot earlier, actually. Wednesday to Thursday, and then it's sitting here, kind of just spinning around, doing its thing. GFS calls for a pretty strong hurricane, too. This would be Saturday. Right in here. Similar area to the European. All right. And it's moving north. Okay. I see you, GFS. It's a little bit more east than the European run, but it's got the similar look. Let's see, how can I do this? Let's go back to this one. Let me show you something here. There's our dip in the jet stream. You can see it clearly. That is big dip right there. That's some cool air too. We're gonna like this next week. So that dip right here is basically a wall steering this guy away. So watch how it comes down, dips up, scoops it out. Bye-bye. A couple of reinforcing shots, cool air too. I mean, this cool air comes all the way from Canada. I like it. Big ridge of high pressure right here. The fact that it's farther west helps us out. Boom, spills in Canadian air. Boom. Come our way. We'll take it. All right. GFS has a couple of waves back here, but nothing's really cooking on the GFS after that. So I'll take it. I mean, I'll take it 5 ways to Sunday. All right. We are approaching the peak of hurricane season. All right. Here we sit right about there. That's us right now. We're almost to the mountaintop. This would be September 10th is the mountaintop. There's us right now. Somewhere in here. So we're almost to the mountaintop. And then here we go. We ride that wave all the way down through October, and then hurricane season ends. We've blazed through some names. I told you this time last week, I think we were probably going to just cross off some names like that. And we did. We got Emily, Franklin, Gert, all named within a few days. Emily is no more. Dawn was a hurricane, no more. Franklin and Gert are, Gert's almost done. Franklin formed before Gert, but it'll still be alive for at least another couple of days. Likely to get Harold tonight. That would be Tropical Storm Harold making landfall in Texas. And then Idalia will be our next one, which would be out there off the Cape Verde Islands. So if you're tracking at home, you're probably going to have Harold named tonight. It'll be gone in 24 hours. Idalia will be the one way out in the Atlantic, and then Jose would be after that, followed by Katia, Lee, Margot, and Nigel. Hurricane Nigel. All right. Activity by the month. You got August and September. in October, which account for over 50% of the named storms. Well over 50%. So that's the way things are working out right now. So looking ahead, what are we watching for from here on out? Thank you for still tuning in. Let's wrap it up here, and I'll show you what my thoughts are. Franklin needs to be watched. I think we're okay right now, but it needs to be watched. It's going to bring some flooding to the Caribbean, and then other Atlantic threats are possible now. Got to keep a very close eye on it moving forward. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll have another video update and in-depth kind of tracking of this on YouTube. As always, if you haven't followed me yet on there, please go ahead and subscribe. We sure appreciate